So let us start today's session with theory of cost. Before studying the different concept of cost, let us understand the different types of cost. First, we have the nominal cost or money cost. The money terms expressed at current prices, then it is called as nominal cost. जो भी प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट है वो करंट मार्केट प्राइस पे अगर एक्सप्रेस किया है तो उसे क्या कहते हैं हम नॉमिनल कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन कहते हैं. देन रियल कॉस्ट है कॉस्ट ऑफ इनपुट्स और इनपुट सर्विसेज और कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन एक्सप्रेस्ड एट कांस्टेंट प्राइस, देन इट बिकम्स द रियल कॉस्ट. मतलब जो भी प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट है अगर हम कांस्टेंट प्राइस में एक्सप्रेस करते हैं तो वो रियल कॉस्ट कहते हैं. अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट इज वैल्यू ऑफ रिटर्न सैक्रिफाइड फ्रॉम द बेस्ट नेक्स्ट बेस्ट अल्टरनेटिव एक्टिविटी. मतलब अगर दो एक्टिविटीज है, एक्टिविटी ए और एक्टिविटी बी, अगर एक्टिविटी ए से हमें इनकम 100 रुपीज मिलता है और बी से इनकम हमें 80 रुपीज मिलता है, तो if we choose to conduct activity A, then whatever foregone returns, that is 80 rupees, we have sacrificed for 100 rupees. We didn't go for B, activity B. So this is 80 will become the opportunity cost. So when there are alternatives, whatever alternative we have sacrificed, the cost of return from that alternative is considered as the opportunity cost. In farming, farmers don't have to pay their own resources like family labor, own bullock labor, own machinery, own seeds, but still in the cost analysis, the value of the own resources are considered. So these are considered on basis of opportunity cost. So whatever our own resources of farmers are there, the cost of those are considered on the basis of opportunity cost. Next, fourth, we have the economic cost. Economic cost is nothing but our total cost of production, which is divided again into explicit cost and implicit cost. Explicit cost includes all the payments made by the entrepreneur or producer for purchasing or hiring the inputs and input services. They are called as explicit cost. जो भी inputs या input service खरीदने के लिए या उन्हें हायर करने के लिए जो भी पेमेंट की जाती है उन्हें हम एक्सप्लिसिट कॉस्ट कहते हैं. दे आर ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज पेड आउट कॉस्ट और कैश कॉस्ट. देन नेक्स्ट वी हैव द इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट. इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट आर द कॉस्ट ऑफ ओन रिसोर्सेज. वी डू नॉट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और प्रोड्यूसर ही वोंट पे फॉर हिज ओन रिसोर्सेज लाइक फैमिली लेबर. सो द कॉस्ट ऑफ फैमिली लेबर और द वैल्यू ऑफ फैमिली लेबर इज कंसिडर्ड एज इम्प्लिसिट कॉस्ट. Their cost of self-owned and self-employed resources are known as implicit cost. Example, cost of family labor, that is the implicit cost. Next, we have the deflated cost. If cost of production is deflated by general price index, then they are called as deflated cost. Total cost जो है हमारा उसे हमने deflator से multiply किया तो हमें मिलता है deflated cost. By doing such this thing, we remove the effect of inflation. जो भी प्राइस टोटल कॉस्ट पे इन्फ्लेशन का इफेक्ट है उसे निकालने के लिए हम डिफ्लेटेड कॉस्ट यूज करते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, रियल कॉस्ट ऑफ कमोडिटी, दिस इज द एग्जांपल ऑफ डिफ्लेटेड कॉस्ट. नेक्स्ट वी हैव द सोशल कॉस्ट. सोशल कॉस्ट आर आल्सो कॉल्ड एज एक्सटर्नलिटीज. Firm incurs in implicit and explicit cost to produce any goods or services. The sum of implicit and explicit cost together form the total cost of production. जो भी explicit और implicit cost ऐड करके हमें क्या मिलता है? total cost of production. और इस total cost of production को हम कहते हैं private cost. लेकिन सोसाइटी की व्यू से जो भी एक प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस के दौरान एक एडिशनल कॉस्ट होता है जो है एक एनवायरमेंट डिग्रेडेशन, वाटर और एयर पोल्यूशन, नॉइज पोल्यूशन, ऐसे कॉजेस ये कॉज करता है. दे हार्म फॉर द सोसाइटी. सच आर कॉल्ड एज द सोशल कॉस्ट विच हार्म्स द सोसाइटी. इन फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इन एब्सेंस ऑफ वेल ड्रेन्ड सिस्टम, इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट्स, दे ब्रिंग द प्रॉब्लम्स इन द कमांड एरिया ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट. मतलब जो भी प्रोजेक्ट एरिया है डैम कंस्ट्रक्शन या इरिगेशन प्रोजेक्ट्स के आसपास अगर वो वेल ड्रेन सिस्टम से नहीं बना है तो उस एरिया में फ्लड का प्रॉब्लम होता है। तो उस केस में जो भी वो सोसाइटी को फेस करना पड़ता है उसे हम कहते हैं सोशल कॉस्ट, हार्म कॉस्ट टू द सोसाइटी बिकॉज ऑफ एनी प्रोजेक्ट, दैट इज कंसिडर्ड एज द social cost. Next we have the separable cost. Separable cost are those which can be exclusively attributed to production of output separately. For example, एक हम प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं कमोडिटी ए, तो इस कमोडिटी का कॉस्ट हम एक्सक्लूसिवली एट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं, जैसे कि रॉ मटेरियल, स्पेसिफिक रॉ मटेरियल, तो उसे हम कहते हैं सेपरेबल कॉस्ट. And cost which cannot be separated to production of a particular output, they are called as joint cost. For example, production of electricity. Electricity generation ये एक ही प्रोडक्ट के लिए यूज नहीं की जाती. इलेक्ट्रिसिटी जो प्रोड्यूस होती है वो n नंबर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट में प्रोडक्शन प्रोसेस में यूज की जाएगी, तो इसलिए वो सेपरेबल कॉस्ट नहीं है, वो क्या है, जॉइंट कॉस्ट है. और एक ही प्रोडक्शन, एक ही कमोडिटी की प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए जो कॉस्ट रहता है उसे हम कहते हैं separable cost. Then next we have the historical cost and replacement cost. Historical costs are involved in purchase of durable goods like land, buildings, machinery, equipment. जो भी हमारे ड्यूरेबल गुड्स है, जल्दी खराब ना होने वाले गुड्स, उसके लिए जो कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व होता है उसे हिस्टोरिकल कॉस्ट कहते हैं. So purchase price of such assets, long term assets, is called as historical cost. That is, the price of asset is considered as the historical cost. Then since this cost, whatever cost of asset is there, it is apportioned in the computation. That is, whatever the cost is there, that is divided into number of years of his lifespan. So they are called as the historical cost. Then replacement cost. It refers to difference between the purchase price of asset and current price of same asset. For example, अगर एक फार्मर ने ट्रैक्टर लिया 10 साल पहले, उस वक्त उसके प्राइस था 1,50,000, बट इट्स प्रेजेंट प्राइस इज 2,50,000 in the market. So difference is 1 lakh. This 1 lakh is the replacement cost of tractor. Next we have the establishment cost. Establishment cost मतलब जो भी एक बिजनेस एक्टिविटी स्टार्ट करने के लिए जो इनिशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट एस्टेब्लिश करने के लिए जो पैसा लगता है उसे हम एस्टेब्लिशमेंट कॉस्ट कहते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल, कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ अ प्लांट, देन साइट डेवलपमेंट, कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ फैक्ट्री, परचेज ऑफ इक्विपमेंट, फर्नीचर्स, these are the example for establishment cost. This cost is also called as first phase cost. So these are different types of cost. Now let us see the cost concepts. There are 7 costs which will explain the behavior of a particular firm in the production of a particular product. Those cost concepts are fixed cost, variable cost, total cost, average variable cost, average fixed cost, average total cost, and marginal cost. These are the 7 cost concepts depending on which behavior of firm will change. So let us see in detail about each cost. First we have the fixed cost. Fixed cost, these costs remain same irrespective of level of production. As the name suggests, they are fixed. They won't change with the level of production. Or we can say that fixed cost जो है, fixed inputs पे जो cost है उन्हें हम fixed cost कहते हैं. The cost will remain invariant in short run, but in long run, there is no fixed cost because all inputs can be varied. शॉर्ट रन में क्या होता है, थोड़े इनपुट्स फिक्स्ड होते हैं तो उनपे फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट आता है, लेकिन लॉन्ग रन में कोई भी इनपुट फिक्स नहीं रहता, सब वेरिएबल रहता है, तो लॉन्ग रन में फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट एग्जिस्ट नहीं करता. नेक्स्ट, दिस इंक्लूड्स कॉस्ट आइटम्स लाइक टैक्सेस, इंश्योरेंस, सैलरी ऑफ परमानेंट वर्कर्स. These are the example for fixed cost. They are also known as indirect cost, sunk cost, or overhead cost. The summation of all these fixed cost is known as total fixed cost. Summation of taxes, insurance, salary of permanent workers, these all together forms the total fixed cost. If we plot the cost taking plot a graph taking cost on y-axis and output on x-axis. Total fixed cost will be the horizontal straight line parallel to x-axis because it does not change with the level of output. It remains constant. So it is the horizontal line parallel to x-axis. Next, we have the variable cost. Variable cost vary with the level of output. As the name suggests, variable मतलब वो change होता है. As output level of output change होगा, ये variable cost भी change होगा. These cost includes cost of raw material, labor, power, repairs, etc. These are also known as working cost, operating cost, direct cost, prime cost, circulating cost, and running cost. These are the different names for variable cost. Summation of all the variable cost is called as total variable cost, TVC. Graphically, if we plot quantity on x-axis and cost on y-axis, the shape of TVC will be the inverse S shape. That is, here it is shown here, it is inverse S shape. This is the TVC curve. An example for variable cost are raw material, labor wages, then transportation cost, commission, which changes with the level of output. Next, we have the total cost. This includes total fixed cost as well as total variable cost. Total cost TC is equal to total fixed cost TFC plus TVC, that is total variable cost. And the shape of total variable cost, shape of total cost is same as the total variable cost. Only difference is total variable cost, it will start from origin, and total cost, it will start from point of total fixed cost. And the difference between the total variable cost and total cost, this is nothing but total fixed cost. Difference between total cost minus total variable cost, we get the total fixed cost. Next, we have the average variable cost. Average variable cost is amount spent on variable inputs to produce 1 unit of output. That is called as average variable cost. For in other words, हम कह सकते हैं average variable cost, that is AVC is equal to variable cost divided by output or quantity. Per variable cost per unit of output is nothing but average variable cost. Algebraically, we can give AVC is equal to total variable cost divided by output, which is nothing but TVC divided by Q. When small amount of output is produced, cost of variable input per unit will be very high. As the production level increases, the cost decreases up to some point, and further again it starts to increase. The productivity of variable inputs increases when greater amounts are used in production process due to economies of scale. मतलब मशीनरीज या सारे जो इक्विपमेंट्स है उनका फुल यूटिलाइजेशन होने की वजह से टोटल कॉस्ट क्या होता है, एज इन टोटल एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट जो होता है वो डिक्रीज होता है अप टू सर्टेन पॉइंट ऑफ output, and after that it will increase. This causes the AVC curve shape U. The shape of AVC curve is like U. That is, cost is taken on x-axis and quantity or output is taken, cost is taken on y-axis and output is taken on x-axis, and the shape of average variable cost is U shape. AVC falls to minimum and thereafter rises and become vertical at certain level of maximum output due to production of greater amount of output. After some time, it becomes the vertical line, vertical straight line as the output increases. Next, we have the average fixed cost. Average fixed cost is nothing but cost incurred on fixed inputs to produce 1 unit of output. It is given by formula total fixed cost divided by output, that is TFC upon Q. This is the formula of average fixed cost. Then average fixed cost is declining with increased output because TFC is constant. हमारा total fixed cost क्या है? वो कांस्टेंट रहता है. It is the horizontal line. It is constant. Whatever may be the output produced, it will remain constant. So as the output increases, our denominator will goes on decreasing. Sorry, goes on increasing, and our numerator will remain constant. So our total whatever quotient we get, that is AFC, will goes on decreasing as the production increases, but it never touches the x-axis. There is some part it won't touch the x-axis, that is it won't become equal to 0. Due to this continuously falling up to the maximum maximum output is produced. The shape of AFC curve is like hyperbola, rectangular hyperbola, we can see. Next we have the average total cost or average cost. When total cost is divided by output, we get the average total cost. That is total cost is TC divided by output produced, that is Q. Or we can say total fixed cost plus total variable cost divided by quantity will give you average total cost, or average fixed cost plus average variable cost will also give you average cost, AC or ATC. The shape of average total cost or average cost, it is same as average variable cost. Next we have the marginal cost. It is change in total cost due to change in output. That is change in total cost is denoted by delta TC, and change in quantity or change in output is denoted by delta Q. So change in total cost is nothing but change in total variable cost, because our fixed cost will remain same, it won't change. So we can say marginal cost is nothing but change in variable cost to change in output. Then MC curve intersects the average variable cost curve and average cost curve at their minimum. We can see here the MC curve is cutting ATC, that is average cost curve and average variable cost curve at their minimum. Then marginal cost, as like every other average cost, it declines first and later it increases. Then points to remember about the cost concept. First one is the average fixed cost is always declining at decreasing rate. It is always declining at decreasing rate. Then average total cost and average variable cost, they decline first, they reaches the minimum and then increases at higher level of output. It is U shape. Then the difference between the average total cost and average variable cost is equal to average fixed cost. Then marginal cost crosses average total cost and average variable cost at their minimum. This is average total cost, this is average variable cost, and marginal cost cut there at the minimum. This is average variable cost. Then if MC is below average value, the average value will be decreasing. Even if it is average variable or average total cost. If marginal cost is below this cost, then the average costs are declining. And if marginal cost is above this average cost, that means these costs are increasing. Next, let us see the supply theory. First, let us see what is meant by supply. Supply is the amount of commodity that seller are able and they are willing to offer for sale at different prices per unit of time. जो भी quantity एक seller या producer he is able to sell or he is willing to offer to sell, that is called as supply. Mayer he has defined supply as supply is a schedule of amount of good that would be offered for a sale at possible prices at any period of time. For example, a day, week, and so on. So whatever amount of good that can be offered for a sale at a particular price at particular time is called the supply. So there are two concepts, supply and stock. So let us see the difference between supply and stock. Supply refers to quantity of commodity which is actually bought to in market for sale at a given price per unit of time, that is supply. जो भी commodity actually सेल करने के लिए मार्केट में लाई गई है उसे हम supply कहते हैं. While stock is that total quantity available with the producer or the seller which he can offer for sale in short notice. उसे अभी वो सेल करने के लिए नहीं लाया मार्केट में, लेकिन शॉर्ट नोटिस में वो स्टॉक को सप्लाई बना सकता है बाय ऑफरिंग इट फॉर सेल. Supply and stock of a commodity in a market, it may be equal or may not be equal. For example, in case of perishable commodities like vegetable, fruits, fish, the supply and stock become same because this cannot be preserved. They are perishable. They get, so in this cases supply और stock क्या होता है, same रहता है. लेकिन in case of perishable goods, so non perishable goods like food grains, उसमें stock और supply सेम नहीं होता है. they won't be equal. Then in case if producer finds price of product is low as compared to cost of production, then he tries to hold the entire or the part of the produce as a stock. अगर प्रोड्यूसर को लगता है कि प्रेजेंट मार्केट प्राइस उसके हिसाब से कम है, तो वो क्या करता है, आइदर थोड़ा पार्ट प्रोड्यूस का या पूरा का पूरा पार्ट वो स्टॉक में रहता है, स्टोर में रहता है. तो उस केस में सप्लाई 0 होगा और स्टॉक जो भी प्रोड्यूस उसके पास है वो सब स्टॉक हो जाएगा. लेकिन इन केस ऑफ फेवरेबल प्राइसेस, अगर जो प्रोड्यूसर को प्राइस चाहिए वही प्राइस है मार्केट में, तो वो क्या करेगा, ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्वांटिटी सप्लाई करेगा और स्टॉक में कम रखेगा. सो दिस डिपेंडिंग अपॉन हिज वैल्यूएशन ऑफ द प्रोड्यूसर और सेलर, द स्टॉक एंड सप्लाई विल डिपेंड. Next, we have the individual supply schedule. As like demand schedule, supply schedule will show the quantity and price relationship of a commodity in market at a specific point of time by individual seller. एक individual seller जो भी quantity different price में supply कर सकता है, उसे हम उस टेबल फॉर्म को हम सप्लाई शेड्यूल कहते हैं, इंडिविजुअल सप्लाई शेड्यूल. और अगर इस सप्लाई शेड्यूल का हम ग्राफ में प्लॉट कर दे बाय टेकिंग प्राइस ऑन y एक्सिस एंड क्वांटिटी ऑन x एक्सिस, then we get the supply curve. The points joining the price and quantity, if we join those points, we get the supply curve. And supply curve is having the positive slope from it moves upwards from left to right because of the positive relationship between price and quantity supplied. Next, we have the market supply. As like market demand, market supply is also the sum of commodity that is bought into the market for sale by the seller at a given market at specific point of time. That is called as market supply. सारे sellers का together जो quantity है जो market में सेल करने के लिए ऑफर किया जा रहा है, उसे हम market supply कहते हैं. It is horizontal summation of supply, individual supply at each unit of price. For example, there are 3 sellers A, B, C, and there are different price range for a commodity rupees per quintal. Now at 300 rupees per quintal, seller A, he is offering 30 units, seller B, he is offering 35 units, and seller C is offering nothing. So total market supply will be 30 plus 35 plus 0, that is 65. Likewise for 325, A is offering 40 units, B is offering 50 units, C is offering again nothing. So total will be 40 plus 50, that is 90. In case when price is 350, individual A is offering 50 units, B is offering 65, C is offering 50. So total will be 50 plus 65 plus 50, that is 165. And when we plot this market supply, then we'll get the market supply curve. That is the horizontal summation of the individual supply of the sellers. Next, we'll see the law of supply. The law of supply states that quantity offered for sale or willing to offer by a producer or the owners for the sale increases with the increase in the market price of that good and falls if the market price decreases, all other things remaining unchanged or all other things remaining constant. There is positive relationship between the price and quantity supplied. क्वांटिटी सप्लाई और प्राइस में डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप है, ये लॉ ऑफ सप्लाई से समझता है. सो एन इंक्रीज इन द प्राइस विल इंक्रीज द इंसेंटिव टू सप्लाई, which means that supply curve will slope upwards from left to right because of the positive relationship between or direct relationship between the supply and price. there is supply curve will slope upwards from left to right. And supply curve, they can be curves or they can be straight line. Supply curve may be curved like this, or it may be straight line from origin. Next, what are the determinants of supply? First main determinant is price of the product we are considering. Since producer always aims to maximize his profit, so quantity supplied will change with increase or decrease in the price. अगर मार्केट में प्राइस बढ़ जाता है तो सप्लाई भी बढ़ जाता है, और अगर प्राइस डिक्रीज हो रहा है तो सप्लाई भी डिक्रीज होगा. सो क्वांटिटी सप्लाई डिपेंड्स ऑन द प्राइस ऑफ द कमोडिटी. इट ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स ऑन द टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंजेस. अगर टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज है, देयर इज एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी that can increase the quantity of yield, then in such cases supply will be more. So advanced technology will yield more quantity and lesser cost, and this may result in producer to be willing to supply more quantity of goods. Yield ज्यादा होने से supply भी ज्यादा होगा. So technological advances will help in increasing the supply. Third is resource supplies and production cost. रिसोर्स सप्लाई, जो भी इनपुट सप्लाई है वो टाइमली हो रहा है और प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट भी कम है, तो उस केस में हमारा सप्लाई ज्यादा होता है. सपोज चेंजेस इन प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट लाइक वेज कॉस्ट, रॉ मटेरियल कॉस्ट एंड एनर्जी कॉस्ट, दिस विल इम्पैक्ट द प्रोड्यूसर्स प्रोडक्शन, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ प्रोड्यूसर्स प्रोडक्शन इवेंचुअली द सप्लाई इन द मार्केट विल ऑल्सो चेंज. An increase in the cost of production will result in lesser quantities of production, and thus lesser quantities will be supplied, or vice versa. Next we have tax or subsidy. Since producer aims to minimize cost and increase his profit, an increase in tax will increase his total cost, so there will be decrease in the supply. अगर उसका total cost, production cost increase हो रहा है तो वो क्या करेगा, वो production कम कर देगा, इससे supply decrease होगा. Similarly, if there are subsidies or incentive for producer, in that cases he will produce more of that good, and therefore supply भी बढ़ जाता है in order to maximize his profits. Fifth, we have expectation of prices in future. अगर प्रोड्यूसर को लगता है कि फ्यूचर में उसके प्रोडक्ट, जो भी वो प्रोडक्ट प्रोड्यूस कर रहा है, उसका प्राइस कम होने वाला है, तो वो क्या करेगा, उसका प्रोडक्शन डिक्रीज कर देगा. उससे क्या होगा, सप्लाई भी डिक्रीज होगा, और वाइस वर्सा केस में इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल. देन प्राइस ऑफ अदर गुड. नाउ प्रोड्यूसर हैव सेवरल ऑप्शंस टू प्रोड्यूस. वो n नंबर ऑफ कमोडिटीज है, क्रॉप्स है, तो उसके पास ऑप्शंस रहते हैं प्रोड्यूसर के पास. सपोज ना दो प्रोड्यूस है, गुड ए एंड गुड बी. नाउ सपोज इफ प्राइस ऑफ गुड ए इज लेस कंपेयर टू प्राइस ऑफ गुड बी, देन वो क्या करेंगे, इंस्टेड ऑफ प्रोड्यूसिंग गुड ए he produces good B. So what will happen, उससे क्या होता है, good A का production decrease होता है और good B का increase होता है. So price of other goods also is responsible for change in supply of the goods. Next we have the number of producers in the market. अगर producers ज्यादा है market में तो obvious है supply भी ज्यादा होगा. अगर producers कम है तो supply कम होता है. Next we'll see movement on the supply curve, movement along the and shift in the supply curve. First let us see movement along the supply curve. It is called as extension and contraction, as same we have seen in the case of demand. Movement along the supply curve, this is because of change in the price of the good resulting in the change of quantity supplied at that price. So due to change in price, whatever supply is changing, that is the movement along the supply curve. For example, an increase in the price of good from P1 to P2. Now suppose if price has increased from P1 to P2, quantity supplied will increase from Q1 to Q2. So this is the movement along the supply. On the same supply curve there is movement. So this is termed as movement along the supply curve. Now if the movement is towards the right, that is upward towards the right, then it is called as extension of supply, and if it is downwards towards the left, then it is called as contraction. Suppose price has increased from PE to P2 and the quantity has increased from QE to Q2. This is nothing but extension of supply. and if price has decreased from PE to P1 and quantity has decreased from QE to Q1, this is the contraction of the supply curve. The movement from point A to B, this movement from point A to B on the supply curve is due to change in price and other things remaining unchanged. This is called as movement along the supply curve. Next we have shift in supply curve. Shift in supply curve, it's sometimes referred as change in supply. जो भी shift होता है उसे हम क्या कहते हैं? It can be referred as change in supply. This happens due to change in other factors other than the price. प्राइस में चेंज नहीं हुआ है, लेकिन अदर फैक्टर्स जो सप्लाई चेंज करने के लिए रिस्पॉन्सिबल है वो चेंज हुए, तो उस केस में क्या होता है? सप्लाई कर्व शिफ्ट होता है. फॉर एग्जांपल, इफ प्राइस ऑफ द फैक्टर और रिलेटेड गुड्स increases, the supply curve will shift. Similarly, if technology and government tools like tax and subsidies also changes, there is change in supply curve. So shift in supply curve occurs in two: when there is increase in supply and decrease in supply. When supply curve shifts towards the right, then it is called as increase in supply curve, and when it shifts towards the left, it is called as decrease in supply curve. Next, we have elasticity of supply. Elasticity of supply is defined as responsiveness or sensitiveness of supply to change in price of the commodity. जो भी प्राइस चेंज होने की वजह से क्वांटिटी और क्वांटिटी सप्लाई चेंज होती है, वो रिस्पॉन्स ऑफ क्वांटिटी सप्लाई टू चेंज इन प्राइस इज कॉल्ड एज elasticity of supply. The extent to which quantity supplied of a commodity changes with the given change in price refers to the elasticity of supply. Same like in demand, elasticity में 5 degrees of elasticity है: perfectly elastic supply, perfectly inelastic supply, unit elastic supply and inelastic supply. Elastic supply को हम relatively elastic कह सकते हैं, inelastic supply को हम relatively inelastic कह सकते हैं. तो एक डिटेल्स में देखेंगे. पहला है perfectly elastic supply. When supply of commodity increases to infinite quantity or unlimited quantity, even though there is minute rise in price, in such cases, elasticity of supply is said to be perfectly elastic. और इस केस में elasticity of supply जो होते हैं वो infinite रहते हैं. Elasticity of supply will be equal to infinity. तो जो भी here, whatever may be the price, at same price, infinite unit of commodity is supplied. So in such cases, here our elasticity of supply will be equal to infinity, and the supply curve will be horizontal and parallel to x-axis. This is the perfectly elastic supply curve. Perfectly elastic supply curve. Then next we have perfect inelastic. It means that quantity supplied has no change due to change in price, has no response to change in price. Whatever may be the price, quantity supplied remains constant. This is the case of perfect inelastic supply. And in this case, the supply curve will be vertical and parallel to y-axis. Elasticity in this case is equal to 0. Elasticity of supply is equal to 0 in case of perfect inelastic supply. Next we have unit elastic. Unit elastic means in case of unit elastic, the percent change in price brings about same percent change in quantity supplied of that good. So in this case we can say supply is unit elastic. So in this case elasticity of supply is equal to 1. Then we have elastic supply. When percentage increase in the price of good brings about larger percent increase in the supply of good, the supply of good is said to be elastic. मतलब percent change in price of the good brings about large percent change in increase in the supply. Supply quantity में ज़्यादा increase है in as considering the price. In such cases we say that it is elastic supply or relatively elastic supply. और इलास्टिसिटी जो है वो ग्रेटर देन 1 होता है और सप्लाई का फ्लैटर स्लोप होता है. यहाँ हम देख सकते हैं स्लोप ऑफ द कर्व इज फ्लैटर एंड चेंज इन प्राइस is less compared to change in quantity. So this is the elastic supply. Next we have the inelastic supply. When percent change in price causes smaller percent change in quantity supplied, then it is said to be inelastic. Elasticity of supply in this case, it will be less than 1 and the supply curve will be steeply sloped. यहाँ देखिए ये ज्यादा steeper है compared to elastic supply curve, और change in price is more than change in quantity supplied. So this is the inelastic supply curve. Then formula of elasticity of supply is nothing but change in quantity supplied, that is percent change in quantity divided by percent change in price. Same as the in case of demand जो है सेम फॉर्मूला यहाँ अप्लाई है, सिर्फ फर्क ये है कि यहाँ क्वांटिटी सप्लाइड कंसीडर की जाती है और डिमांड में क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड. Then factors influencing the elasticity of supply. First factor is availability of inputs of production. If needed inputs are available as per requirement, the supply is elastic. मतलब अगर inputs जो है वो जिस टाइम पे रिक्वायर है उस टाइम पे अगर मिल रहे हैं, उस केस में क्या होता है, supply of that commodity is elastic. And if any one factor is not available, then the supply will be inelastic. Then length of time period. It is the period of time required to adjust the supplies to the changes in price. The biological characteristic of product dictate the changes of responsiveness. मतलब एक क्रॉप है, अगर वो शॉर्ट टर्म क्रॉप है तो उस केस में क्या होता है, लेंथ ऑफ टाइम पीरियड लेस होता है, तो उस केस में सप्लाई इलास्टिक रहता है. अगर लॉन्ग टर्म क्रॉप है तो उस केस में सप्लाई इनइलास्टिक रहता है. Then diversification of production activity. When producer is engaged in production of number of products and facilities exist for shifting of production from one product to other product, in such cases each product supply is elastic. मतलब production process हम shift कर सकते हैं, उस वक्त में supply क्या होता है, elastic रहता है. Then availability of alternative markets. Suppose there exist several markets for a producer to sell the goods. Then fall in price in one market will allow him to shift his goods to the other market. In such case, we can say that supply is elastic, where he has the options of alternative markets. Fifth is the flexibility in starting and winding up the business. अगर एक प्रोडक्शन एक्टिविटी है जो वो क्विकली स्टार्ट कर सकता है, क्विकली फिनिश कर सकता है, तो उस केस में क्या होता है, supply of those goods is elastic. So these are the factors which influence the